Yes, good old TJ.
Konnichiwa. Yes, your boy Incog. Back on our video. Into the video, we are back on Tish Force channel. This video, it is called 15 Bloodlines You Must Know Fatestay Night FGO. So, as you guys will know, it's a lot of like different like series or like different like characters within the Fate series. So there is different type of bloodlines. Obviously, if you got a family and everything, you got a bloodline. So or you just you're born, you have a bloodline in general. So I'm kind of curious to see where this is gonna go. After I do this video, I'm gonna try to just start on the apostle video. The apostle video, because it's made from Tish himself anyway. But like I say, speaking of which, like say, first thing you should write down below will lead to Tish channel. Yeah, and like, subscribe on the video, guys. Bell notification, make sure you like all, and let's get right into this. So play.
All right, so this is what we're on today. 15 different bloodlines in the Nasuverse that you have to know.
All right,
and if we're just being honest, most of these families probably deserve a video in their own right, but this is just meant to be used as a summary. So first up, we have the Tohsaka family. They are one of the 3 great founding families of the original Holy Grail War.
Waifu.
Their job was to supply spiritual land for the war itself. They've been around for 200 years, specialize in jewel magecraft, and they take a lot of value in martial arts. When they first started,
oh god,
they
your
weren't
face,
that
buddy.
good. But through
Posting.
the years, their bloodline has evolved from one of the least formidable to receiving props from the Grand Wizard himself, Zelrech. As of right now,
And that's the dude that walked to
current
that
head is Ren Tohsaka, aka
dang, she
Thighs for the God.
I'm saying
Next
sheesh.
up, we have one of the 3 great noble
That
families
dude was the guy
of the
that
Clock
went to
Tower,
that
the El-Melloi. Now,
for
these
magecraft.
people are
Yeah,
the high and mighty
but he didn't
side
touch it. But
of the mages.
he's able to do all
When
that
they
stuff.
come
I think
through,
that's him.
they expect a red carpet rolled out and for you to kiss their toes, and anything else would be absolute disrespect. These people take so much pride in their own family name that their real name doesn't even really matter to them. Their current head right now is Lorelei. She is one of the greatest magi in the modern world. Her level is just on the brink of true magic, and she has more magic circuits than the Clock Tower's headmaster. Keep in mind that this headmaster has been alive for over 2,000 years. Her family takes very high value in being nobles. She is vice director at the Clock Tower. She is the lord of the Department of Policy.
What is she?
And just to get a hint of what type of level she's on, she has the same title, Grand Wizard, as the magician Zelrech. Lorelei believes that if you can't cast on the level of
she
true magic,
broken.
you shouldn't even be speaking her name.
Right.
You're a bum. We have nothing to talk about. That being said, Zelrech is one of the only mages that she reveres. Next, we have the Animusphere. I'm sure you guys are quite familiar with this one. One of the most recent heads was Marsberry Animusphere, and he played a tremendous role in the story of Grand Order. And he's one of the 12 lords of the Clock Tower. His field of study was astrology. He taught Kirstaria, who is a primary antagonist for Grand Order right now, and he's responsible for founding the Caldia system that allows us to summon spirits and time travel. Next, we have the Watermaid family. The reason that these guys are so lethal is that they hold a lineage that's been around for over thousands of years, going all the way back to the Age of Gods. Kirstaria himself has an unmodified magic crest that has a millennium worth of information at his disposal.
You know how long a millennium is, right?
After witnessing us trying to go against him later on in the Lost Belts, you don't want smoke with this guy. As a matter of fact, I don't want to be within 5 feet of this man. Next, we have
At 5
the
feet, I don't want to be a
Matou,
town's worth of them,
one of the
that
3
man.
founding families to the original Holy Grail War. They have been around for 500 years. They specialize in worm magic, but after a
Worm
while,
magic.
their line started to dwindle. Their magic crest was no longer being passed down, and their most recent heir, Shinji, was born with no magic circuits at all. With nothing left for the family to do, they decided to adopt Sakura into their family to maintain what was left of the Matou line. When it comes to the Grail War itself, they are the ones that established the servant system and created the command spells for the masters to use along with them. Next, we have the Yggdmillennia family.
Yggdmillennia?
Now, this bloodline is actually a composite family, meaning that it's comprised of mages from multiple bloodlines. The most recent head was Darnic Prestone, and he's been alive for almost 100 years. He's been around for so long that he actually was a part of the Third Holy Grail War as a master of the servant Fion. Unfortunately for him, he lost his connections among the nobles at the clock tower and could no longer excel his family the way that he wanted to. At this point, he started to take in a bunch of different families. Now, with them having so many different bloodlines in their family, it gave them the ability to specialize in a bunch of different fields. So in a perfect world, they probably could have been one of the strongest families out there. But quantity isn't always better than quality, and
That's
quantity
extreme
may
facts.
come
That is
a
extreme
lot of
facts.
duds, as you saw
Always.
in Apocrypha. And it doesn't help that the red team was fucking stacked. Next, we have the one, the only, the Aozaki line. Let's start off with Aozaki. Now take a good look at this individual. Seems like a nice girl, right? This girl right here,
That's the girl that gave
at
Shinji
least
her glasses.
maintenance-wise, can wipe the floor with half the Nossoverse with one leg glued to the ceiling. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I just knew that something was off.
If
when
I'm
I
lying,
first
I'm
saw
done.
her attire. You know,
If I'm
you
lying, I'm
was in trouble when
fine.
one of the strongest mages in the verse pull up in a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. You are about to get steamrolled.
That worked.
Nobody jokes around like that. They are a bloodline of 6 generations, with Alco being the most recent head. How did she get that position? She stole it from her older sister Toko,
Yeah, I remember that.
who by normal standards is supposed to be
During
stronger than her.
Shiki
But she lacks
story.
Alco's trump card, the 5th magic, one of the strongest spells in the verse. It's the type of spell that separates a magus from a true magician, and it's
Just about
the
one
type
spell?
of spell that you really don't want to run into. By the book, Alco would be no better than a regular mage, but since she knows the 5th magic, she can manipulate her power to have more output than her older sister, who has phenomenal magic circuits for her line. And her sister Toko is nothing to sleep on either, don't get me wrong. When Toko faced
That
off
beat,
against a first-rate magus in the Kara no Kyokai world, she opened up a
That
suitcase
beat.
and had a demon eat this man
That classic.
alive. Toko was out here putting mages on milk cartons. Now you see him, now you don't. A true wizard. Merlin would be proud. Next up, we have the last 3 of the
Hold on,
founding
pause real
family.
quick. What the heck was that ability? That looked like a freaking parasite literally eating this. What was that? Who? That's the older. What? Yo. Yo. Hey, y'all gotta let me know in the comments down below who that is and all that. For real. Alright. Play.
Of the original Grail War, the Einsberns. They've been around for 1,000 years. They specialize in the magecraft of alchemy, and they have an unmatched talent for creating some of the best homunculi that you've ever seen. The Yggdmillennia family actually took the blueprint for
And they
making
made
their
Sig, okay.
homunculi from the Einsberns. One of their worst homunculi is worth at least 100 magi. The most recent head is Ilyasville von Einsbern, and the family itself is actually made of homunculi, which is why the successors, namely Ilyasville and Irisville, look exactly like the original Justice. The initial goal for the Einzbern family was to find another way to reach the third magic again. However, where they excel in creation, they lack in actual fighting power, which is why they ended up hiring Kirisugu. They are the ones that built the Great Grail, and they're responsible for creating a vessel for the Grail every time a war rolls around. Next we have the Eltnums. Now, the Eltnums are a bloodline of alchemists that occupy the Atlas faction of the Mages Association. Zepia Eltnum was the family's most recent head. In the Fate world,
wasn't that with Shinki, right? In Tsukahime?
While he was doing his studies, but in the Tsukahime world,
right?
he turned himself into a dead apostle ancestor since he felt that his
so I thought he was
thresholded as a human. He is the living and
that makes a tearful smile
of your worst nightmares. No, seriously, if you don't like snakes, he will probably toss you into a pit full of snakes just to fuck with you. Furthermore, the Eltnums created the
so I'm gonna pause for the last time. What's your greatest fear? What would he have tossed you in a circle full of, or like a big area full of that with his ability? What is your biggest fear? Let me know in the comments down below and why. Let me know. All right, so play.
Which allows them to essentially hack and access a person's mind. Next we have the Archibald family. You've seen it before.
I don't know why I was going to
this
say Archibald.
Family is among the elites, and they are very good with the other nobles. Their prodigy Cainiv was the ninth head of the family, but since he took an early out, Waver felt like it was his responsibility to take over the position, since he's the reason that Cainiv died in the first place, with him stealing his servant and all. Cainiv was out here flexing with a 9-generation family crest and a mystic code made of mercury to help him during battle. And don't let Fate Zero's depiction fool you. Cainiv was actually nice, he just ran into a hard counter. Somebody should have told him Kirisugu plays dirty. Next we have the Trambellio.
He definitely does.
This is one of the 3 great noble families.
He's like a boy from Fullmetal Alchemist. Was it Armstrong without the mustache?
Nobles, the Trambellio family, or actually the Democratic faction of the Clock Tower. The current head, McDonald Trambellio, has a unique ability to recover his odd. Strong spells that would normally run him straight into the ground can get served for an hour straight before he even starts to feel the burn. You know something? I forfeit, cause there's no way that I'm blocking you for that long. Next we have the Valualeta family.
That's true though.
Which is another one of the 3 great noble families of the Clock Tower. The current head is Inorai Valualeta.
She has to be like about 80.
Of the creation department. Just to get an idea of
On
what
face,
she's
she about
working
like
with,
3,000 years
she's taught
old.
magecraft to the previously mentioned Toko Aozaki. She taught magecraft to Alba, the magus that Toko fought, and she taught Soren Arya, who serves as an antagonist
She taught everybody,
for
didn't she?
no Kyokai. And trust me when I say that this guy is busted. Of course, how could I forget the Fraga family? The Fraga are an extremely old family that go back into the age of gods. Since they showed great loyalty to the gods during that time, their family was rewarded with the noble phantasm. This noble phantasm is actually a sword of the god Lu, which is Cuchulain's father. They were also granted the knowledge.
They have a sword
of
from
mystic
Coop's
runes
father
as well. As of right now, the only known descendant is Bazet, who, in case you didn't know, is an absolute beast out here. she was
Good.
able to defeat Cuchulainn in one of the loops of Hollow Ataraxia with that very same noble phantasm. A mutual defeat, but a defeat all the same. Next we have the Harways. Now the Harways are a family from the extra world. They own 60% of the wealth that's in the world via their famous organization. The family's head is Leo Harway, and he's shown great promise ever since he was a child at 3 years old. He went through several surgeries of them burning information into his brain as a child just so they could increase his full potential. His in-world parameters are maxed out, and he is indeed the strongest master to participate in his respective world, that is, at least until we show up. And finally, we have the Einsworth family. Now, this is a family from Fate Collide. Starting straight from the top, we have Darius Einsworth, who was the first head of the Einsworth family. But he didn't just stop there. Not only has this man lived for 1,000 years, but he's also discovered a way to make his descendants his own personal host whenever he needs to jump into a new body. Right now, he's in the body of his descendant, Julian Einsworth. Darius is the one that established the Einsworth War, which entails masters using class cards to fight each other instead of using.
Is he possessing her? What is he
servants.
doing?
And it looks like we made it. That is 15 families that you need and you have to know.
All right, man. 15 bloodlines you need to know. Fatestay Knights, FGO. Like I say, original link. You sure about down below. Leads to Tish's channel. Like, share on the video. Share cool stuff. Go follow the TikTok page. I'm out. Peace.